talking stress, only work, it kinda vicious like somebody taking pictures.
What's up, you guys? I'm Tay the Gemini, and welcome to the podcast Unpopular Opinion, where on this podcast, we will discuss relationships, the everyday struggles of our generations, healing, and much more. This podcast can and will be full of unpopular opinions, but hey, unpopular opinions can't hurt, right? So with that being said, stay tuned because this podcast starts now. What's up, you guys? I'm Tay the Gemini, and welcome to my first episode of my first podcast, my very new podcast. Okay, this episode is called Girl Just Do It. So, before I get into the episode, I want to talk about a little bit about myself and why I switched over to video podcasting, because I know a lot of you knew that I was doing YouTube and trying to do YouTube, and I really just didn't get into it. So I just want to start off with a little background. So about a year ago, I started my YouTube channel, and yes, I just was not consistent. I was not locked in. I wasn't tuned in to what it takes to have a YouTube channel or whatever like that. So I decided that I was going to switch over to video podcasting, and here I am now. However, my podcast is not available on all platforms yet. It will be soon, very soon. But right now, you can catch my podcast on Instagram Reels, clips from it on TikTok. But the full podcast will only be available on YouTube. So, with that being said, let me get straight into it. I will be dropping podcast videos weekly. I just want to let you guys know what day. I don't know. It's not a specific day. I don't want to make you guys any promises and tell y'all Wednesday and then I drop a video on Thursday. So they will be weekly. I just don't know the exact date. This podcast will be a safe space, and I want everybody that watch my podcast to interact with me, give me feedback. And yeah, it's just a safe space, a venting space for people of our generation. And I really just want to touch on uncomfortable topics and topics that we overlook within our generation. And I'm looking at my phone, y'all, because I got bullet points and stuff like that. This is gonna be on the regular on the podcast. But so let's just jump right into the episode. So this episode, the title is Girl Just Do It. And basically it's just about stop procrastinating. Like, even with me and my podcast, I really, really, really procrastinated my podcast. I wasn't consistent with YouTube, and it was just like, I don't know why. I can't give an exact reason why. It's just a lot of discouragement around watching other people. And I'm gonna get into all those topics a little later on in the episode. But yeah, so I just feel like this is like, the first episode should be like a warm-up episode and an episode of encouragement to anybody out there who wants to do something and you feeling in your spirit, procrastination in your spirit, and you feel like you want to do it but can't execute it. Just do it, girl, boy, whoever watching it, just do it. Like, it's gonna come, everything gonna fall into place. So why it took me so long? To be honest, it took me so long to actually put this podcast into works and actually get all the stuff that I needed for my podcast and actually just do it. It took me so long because just in my head, watching people on TikTok talk about how, oh, everybody want to be an influencer, everybody want to create content, everybody want to do podcasts now all of a sudden, and that can be very discouraging. So let's just talk about that within itself. Like, let's be real. We in a generation where everybody is doing the same thing. Like, everybody is getting on TikTok, blowing up on TikTok, everybody creating content, everybody selling clothes, everybody doing hair. And we got to get to a point as people where we just like, I'm not watching what everybody else doing. Like, I'm finna get in here and I'm finna do what I need to do, or what I want to do, or what I feel that makes me happy. And that's really where this came into play, like my podcast. I know I got a voice and I know I have a way of speaking to people. I just never really felt like I needed to do a podcast. I was always watching other people. I was always being discouraged by other people, listening to just people as a whole. Like, I just recently watched a video literally like 3 days ago, and it was very discouraging. This ain't nothing to Mr. Beast or nothing like that, but I guess he made a video, and it was basically like, you're not gonna get any views until your 100th video. Like, your first 10 videos is not going to get any views. It's not going to get anybody. You're not going to be able to have people to watch your video, and it's not going to blow up. And it's just very discouraging to somebody who's trying to get into content creating. I feel like I get where he was coming with it, like, just be consistent. I guess that was the overall message, and be patient with yourself. But however, just for somebody like me, for example, finna get ready to drop my first video, and that's the first thing I seen when I opened social media. So that stuff can be discouraging. And my encouragement to whoever watching this podcast is to just do it. Like, just do it. Because at the end of the day, whether you fail, whether you succeed, you can at least say that you did it. Like, it's something that you was passionate about and that you did it. Like, I don't know. Like, that, I guess that was just my biggest thing. Just being discouraged and watching other people and watching people blow up and things like that. But I had to get to a point, and this is another like piece in my podcast, I had to get to a point where I don't care. Like, I genuinely don't care if I blow up. I'm just doing this because this is what makes me happy. And when you get in a place to where you're doing something that's genuinely making you happy, you're going to be consistent. You're going to do it. And with consistency, everything else is going to fall into place. Like, worrying about likes and views and all that. Yes, you got to promote yourself. Yes, you want to put yourself out there because you want to be heard. But ultimately, when you doing this shit because it's something that you love, I mean, everything else is going to fall into place. Like, everything else is going to fall. So that's how I really wanted to start my video. You know, just letting you guys know, like, just do it. Like, I'm just in a space where I'm just executing stuff. Like, whether I'm discouraged or not, I'm pushing through it, because at the end of the day, I'm doing it because it's something that I want to do. So for anybody out there watching this podcast, if you want to sell clothes, you want to clean shoes, you want to do hair, like, go do it. What's stopping you? Like, just take that first step, because at the end of the day, it's just like a workout plan, right? You keep pushing it back and saying you're going to do it. Oh, I'm going to do it Monday. I'm going to do it Monday. I'm going to do it Monday. If you're serious about something, you can do it the next day. You feel me? Like, you can get up and go and do it. Like, you ain't got to wait on all your equipment. You ain't going to have everything into play. But that first action of you just doing it can really benefit you in the long run. Okay, yeah. And that just goes back into waiting on the perfect time. I was dead ass just waiting on the perfect time. Like, oh, I'm going to do it in the new year. Or I feel like starting the new year off with a podcast would be better, and this and this and that. Don't wait on the perfect timing, bro, because no time is going to be just drop dead perfect. Like, nothing is going to be perfect. You might think it's perfect timing. You might think you got it all together. I feel like just do it. Execute. Like, know what you want to do. Set up you a plan and just do it. Like, it's nothing else holding you back but you in anything in life. Whether you want to go back to school or anything, just do it. Like, girl, just do it. Lock the fuck in. I tweak the fuck out. You feel me? Yeah. So I just want to give like a few words of encouragement, because, like I said, just trying to execute stuff can be very like overwhelming. Like, all the negative comments and stuff is gonna come. Like, when I first was telling people I was trying to start a podcast, like, I really wasn't getting a lot of negative feedback, but some negative energy was coming, like, with little things like, oh, this and that, like, or you trying to do a podcast and what are you gonna talk about? Just, you know, y'all know how it be. Like, when people just, I don't know if it's intentional or not intentional, but when people just don't really fully believe in what you believe in, you know, take that negative energy and use it as fuel. Like, that's what I'm learning to do in 2023 and so on in my life. Like, taking negative energy around me or anything that's negative, and I'm using it as fuel. Like, instead of just using it to deter me down or to discourage me, I'm using that stuff as fuel, because at the end of the day, without negative energy, without negative comments, without discouragement, I mean, that's a part of the process. I can't say that it motivates me to have people around me that's negative or to have negative comments. That's motivate me, because when I do rise to the top, or when my podcast do blow, or when whatever I'm doing in life do come out to be successful, those same people who was down in me or who didn't believe in me gonna be the same people like, damn, Tay really doing her shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, don't watch other people. Don't let negative things discourage you. Take that shit and put that shit under your feet. Use that shit as fuel, like, and keep going. And another big thing in 2023 that I had to learn is like changing my mindset. Like, with everything that I do, I'm changing my mindset. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, pushing those negative thoughts out of my mind, like just changing how I view stuff as a whole, being open-minded to different things. Like, and I know we all like get in a new year and be like, oh, this is my New Year's resolution, or this is what I'm finna do, this is what I'm gonna do in the new year, this I'm gonna work out, I'm gonna eat better, I'm gonna drink my water, I'm gonna mind my business. But I feel like that's where I didn't want to set it like a New Year's resolution. I just wanted to be like, okay, I've been bullshitting long enough. I've been saying I'm gonna change the way I think. I've been saying I'm gonna do this, do that long enough. I just wanna put it into play. Like, I just wanna actually do it this time. And it has nothing to do with the new year. I did start in the new year. It's not a resolution or anything like that. It was time. Like, knowing when it's time. Like, just for a change and a change in mindset. I ain't getting no younger. Shit just changing. I don't know. I know where I want to be in life. I know what I want to do in life. So at this moment, I'm not watching nobody else. I'm just doing what Tay want to do. I'm being Tay. Tay is Tay's biggest competition right now. And that's the advice that I would give to any of y'all that's watching this podcast. This is what I want y'all to take away from this podcast. Don't hold yourself back. Like, don't hold yourself back. Like, whatever you want to do, or it could be the smallest thing, just do it. Like, believe in yourself. Believe in what you got planned. Believe in what God got planned for you. And just execute it. Like, just execute it. I feel like that's another thing within our generation. Like, we tend to watch each other. Like, everything we do, whether it's how we dress, or what we put on, or what we watch, or this and that, how my hair is. Like, we watching each other and we playing off of each other through a lens of social media, when in reality, this girl Kate can really be having shit on TikTok and YouTube, but in real life, Kate ass don't even have nowhere to stay. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like once we get out that mindset of stop watching each other and just being ourselves and finding ourselves as a whole, it ain't shit that's gonna be able to hold us back. Also, like, as a generation, I feel like we don't, I ain't gonna say we don't put God in a lot of stuff, but I feel like God, we kind of only depend on God when it's like something going wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't really just reflect back to God when we at our highest, or when we doing good, or when we got our plan. Like, we don't really trust in God when we really need to. And I feel like everything that I'm saying go hand in hand. Like, starting something, trusting in God's process, trusting in your own process, letting God know what you want to do, and just doing it. Stop watching other people. Stop waiting on the perfect time. And like, all that stuff go hand in hand. And I just wanted to really speak on it, because I know it's kind of like, for the people who knew that I started my YouTube channel a year ago, it was kind of like random that I'm like, oh yeah, I'm switching over to video podcasting, and I'll pop up with all this shit for video podcasting and to start my podcast, and I was just trying to do YouTube. But to be honest, I was not consistent with YouTube. That is something that I really didn't want to do. I didn't want to vlog. I didn't want to have people in my everyday life all the time. I didn't want to continue to make up skits and doing all that shit that it take to be an influencer on YouTube, or to do those things. Like, that just wasn't what my calling was. I'm not saying it's not for the next person, but that's why I wasn't consistent when it came to my YouTube channel. Like, and that's why I'm switching up to video podcasting. Like, I know this right here is for me. Like, I feel it. Like, just talking to the camera and talking into this mic, like, I know it's for me. And yeah, like this episode really not gonna be long because this is my first episode. I didn't want to just come out the gate with like a a huge harsh ass topic or interesting topic out the gate. I just really wanted to get you guys to get a feel of me and get where I'm coming from and how I even got into video podcasting or how it came about. Like I really wanted my first episode to be an encouraging episode to tell you guys to do what you want to do. Let you guys know that I did switch over from YouTube to video podcasting. And I plan on being consistent with you guys. Like I really plan on giving you guys good topics, good content. I want you guys to interact with me and whoever else I have on my shows and my episodes. Like I want to hear back from you guys. And yeah, like I'm looking forward to doing it. I got a lot of stuff coming up, like seriously, for you guys with this podcast. I got a lot of good topics. Like I said, this podcast is all about talking about relationships, talking about the struggles that we deal with our generation, like stuff that we don't talk about, those uncomfortable situations conversations we gonna have here on this podcast, Unpopular Opinion. Like that's where I got the name from. It's not gonna be just stuff that we talk about on the everyday. Like this is a safe space and a venting space to where we gonna get down to the bottom of some shit and we gonna talk. We gonna say what we gotta say about a lot of shit. So I want you guys to tune in to my episodes. Like I really want you guys to tune in. I want you guys to comment, share, subscribe to my YouTube, like, because I don't want y'all to miss it, because something that I might be talking about on this podcast really might be something that's weighing on your heart. But I promise you guys, I'm not going to stop here. This is my first video. I know it's a little short. It's a lot of short. But I just wanted to drop this episode to basically just encourage you guys, like, do what you want to do. Don't be discouraged. And just take action. Like, the worst thing that can happen is you not doing it at all. Like, just do it. At least you will have it under your belt to say, oh, yeah, I did it regardless of what the circumstances was. Like, So, yeah, I mean, is that all I have to say? Yeah, I just want to give you guys a little bit more insight on my podcast and what it's going to be. Like, this shit going to be real, raw, and uncut. I'm sorry, mama, don't be watching this too much on the topics that you don't want to watch on. Yeah, it's gonna be real, raw, and uncut. I'm gonna have a lot of different guests on here. Obviously out the gate, I'm not gonna have like no famous people or nothing like that yet, not yet. But yeah, it's gonna be real interesting. Like I just ask you guys as friends, family, supporters to interact with me, give me y'all feedback, talk to me through these comments. Share my shit, hit me up, let me know what y'all want to talk about. Let me know if y'all interested in being featured on my podcast if you have something to say or that you want to say, and we can work some shit out. Like this podcast, this shit gonna get real juicy, And those of you who do know me, zoom in on this one. Those of you who really do know me, yeah, y'all know we gonna get in here and we gonna talk our shit. Like it's not finna be no sugarcoat nothing. We gonna really talk about the things that we avoid and the conversations that we just don't have as our generation. Like we just don't have conversations that we need to have as a whole. And it's basically what this podcast is gonna be about. It's gonna be very fun. I'm super excited to start this podcast. I'm super excited for the next episode, y'all. Y'all gotta stay tuned, because the next episode, off the charts. It's real juicy. I'm gonna have a special guest and we gonna get into a good topic, about some good shit. So don't miss that. And like I said, this video is not gonna be super long. And yeah, so that's it. Thanks for watching, you guys. See y'all on the next episode. Yeah. Wait, y'all, I think I just had what's that called? A blooper? I just had a blooper. But see you guys on the next episode. I'm sorry the episode was so short. I just, again, wanted to give you guys a little bit of encouragement. And just to let you guys know what I was doing personally, I will drop videos weekly. So hold me accountable to that. If you do enjoy my videos, feel free to reach out to me on all my social media platforms. Mostly friends and family probably gonna know my social medias and things like that. But if you want to know my social medias and stuff like that, it is in the intro video. And yeah, just Feel free to let me know what you guys want to hear from me, or let me know what you guys think, because y'all opinion matter to me too. And yeah, thank you for watching Unpopular Opinion. See ya.